So today we decided to do a review on the park that we're staying in. The park's name is Thousand Trails Orlando.
So we're going to drive around and show you guys all these different things coming up on RV Street. Okay, so we are traveling south on 27, and I wanted to show you the entrance of how you get in here. So it's got its own main left-hand turn lane, and you can see the sign right there to your left. It says Thousand Trails. So it's very easy to get access into here, even if you have a big rig. And we're going right in there.
It's really quite nice, this one is, because we're kind of right off the main road, although we seem very secluded back here in this campground. But everything is very accessible to you. There's a Walmart.
Yeah, just right down that street before you turn in here, about 2 miles, there's a Walmart down there. And 192, Highway 192, is only maybe 4 miles down that road, further down 27. And that's the road you take to go to Disney World. So you'll be, as you can see, this is just great for a small or big rig. It doesn't matter. You got a nice asphalt road that gives you access to the camp. And when you get in here, you'll be turning left to where the reception center is, and that's where you check in. See that sign right there? All registrations and membership here. So you can see there's a truck that just pulled in with his trailer. And so he has stopped. You can see all the multiple lanes that they have here. So he just parks here. And even if you have, like we did, we had our motorhome and towing our Ford, our tow vehicle. So we disattached it here. And we left the motorhome here. We disattached the towed. Joni stayed with the motorhome while I took the map, and I got in our little Fiesta, and I drove around and found our camp spot. Once I found our camp spot, I came back, and she followed me to the campsite. And so you just go to that building right there and check in. There they'll give you your map and your vehicle tags and everything you need. The thing I've noticed too is that the RVs that are here in this park are not really stacked in tight. You have quite a bit of room or in between each one. And over here is a bathhouse. We're going to go in there and see what that bathhouse looks like. Joni and I, we shower in our motorhome. We do not usually use shower facilities because we have very adequate shower facilities at our location. but I'm going to go here into the men's.
I'm not going in there.
And let's see what's inside here. Okay, so we basically have mirror and sinks. We got 3 stalls, but there are 2 shower areas back in here. Pardon me for the large lens. I mean, I have my phone on a gimbal, and my gimbal cannot take my large wide-angle lens. It's too heavy for my gimbal. But they look clean, nice and tiled. Have a nice little shower area there. Nice controls, good. The bottoms are nice and clean. So these are the shower facilities. One thing about this Thousand Trails camp here in Clermont is that all these campsites are connected with asphalt roads, which is not always the case. A lot of times they are gravel roads. So this makes really nice when you got traffic going in and out, especially when the campgrounds are more crowded. They won't be kicking up a lot of dust. We've been to some campgrounds where they're dirt and gravel roads, and the dust is really bad. So there's all different kinds of RVs in here, but I would say the majority of them are probably Class C's and up, 30 feet, between 25 and 40 feet, and very little tent camping here, even though they do have that in this location.
Okay, so now we're coming up to the laundry area, and it's really quite nice to be able to do all of your laundry within probably about an hour. And this is going to be your typical laundry facilities. In here, there's 4 washers. They're typically $3 per washer. The tubs are quite large. In this particular one, you use tokens. You put your money in, you get your tokens, and then pop them into the washer.
Yeah, some laundromats, you can use a credit card. Some will take cash. This particular campground, you put in cash. It does not take credit cards. You put in cash, and then it spits out its own tokens. And then the tokens is what you put in the washer and dryer. It costs $3 a load, you said, for each washer. And how much on the drying?
It's also $3 per dryer. So this one costs a little more than the other parks that we've been in. A lot of them, it will be like $1.25 to dry, $2.50 to wash. These happen to be a little bit higher. And that is another great thing about using the laundry facilities, is you can have all of your week's laundry done in about an hour, hour and a half. It's fabulous that, it doesn't take all day like it did when I was home, at the house. This is very quick, very easy, very convenient.
And when you get your clothes out of the dryer, you can just bring them right over here to the folding area. It's very long, probably about 20 feet long. And then just fold your clothes and get ready to take them back to the RV. The snowbirds at this park will park their RVs over in this storage area, and then they'll fly or drive down to Florida and pick up their RV and then park it. One of the really cool things about this park is that they got a lot of really large tortoises here, or turtles. Not really sure of the name or what breed they are, but they are protected. And so they put these garbage cans, and these turtles crawl in there, and they've got tunnels that go forever. We were talking to a guy last night. They said sometimes these turtles will dig tunnels hundreds of yards, and they have different elevations, and that way when it rains that water will not flood the whole tunnel, and they'll stay in there and breed. And these things get quite big, like maybe 15-20 inches across. And also snakes get in there, he said, so don't go putting your hand in there. But this is pretty cool.
This really is one of the nicer parks that we have been in. Like Martin said, everything is paved. It's very well kept. Just overall very nice. The amenities are great, and we're going to show you some of those here in just a minute.
Yeah, this area here, this building here is where you get your mail. And it's also the access to the pool.
And they also have a little store in here,
and it's where your dump station, where your garbage dump is. Okay, so this is the main activities center, and this is also where you get your mail, and they have a store in here too where you can get some supplies and ice. They have a big
chessboard.
Yeah, go over there and show them how big that is, Joni. I mean, it's like life-size pieces or something across from the chess. They have a checkerboard there that you play. But this is the main activity center. And they have foosball.
They have a lot of scheduled activities here. They do a lot of kids' activities, crafts and whatnot in here.
And back in there they have a pool table, bathrooms in here.
A used book exchange you can use.
And then you can go through here. Normally what we do is we just come and we park right in that area there so we can gain access to the pool. They have 2 pools here and a hot tub. Looks like they're doing work on the hot tub right now, but this is the first big pool. They got lots of chairs here. And they're also, we noticed the other day that they're remodeling the shower area here at the pool. And then over here we have the second pool, and this is, from what we understand, it's the younger pool where if you want to play games, volleyball, they've got all this stuff already set up. So they have your basketball and the volleyball. And they actually have people here during the winter who they have teams, and they come here and they have volleyball competition. But there's plenty of chairs here, which is another thing. Some pools, they don't have hardly any chairs. Some have chairs, some have umbrellas, some don't. This particular one here, this campground has a lot of seating and a lot of umbrellas. So if you need to be in the shade or protected from the sun, you can do that. And then over here on the other side of the pool, they have shuffleboard pads. Horseshoe pads. Quite a bit of those. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horseshoe pads.
Maybe that's a thing in Florida.
Yeah, well, in the wintertime, this place, they say, like, you know, they're just packed. And so all the snowbirds come down here, and it'll be, you know, 65 to 75 degrees, and they sit here and play games. And then over there in the distance, they have tennis courts. For those of you who have kids, they have a little area here right next to the pool with some minimal playing, some swings, some rungs, and teeter-totter. They also have bike racks right there where, you know, most of us, I'd say probably at least half of the people, including like us, we carry our bicycles with us. So when you're at a campground, getting around the campground, you usually go by your bicycle, whether it's dumping your trash, going to the pool, or whatever. So they got bike racks. Coming out of the activity center here, right at the end of the parking lot, they have your trash dump where you can ride your bike or bring up your car and dump your trash right in that area there. Another thing some people wonder about or are concerned about, and that's security. We have found Thousand Trails campgrounds very secure. We have never ran into any issue or shady kind of circumstances. There's been, usually all these parks have an annual area where people, like I said, pay to stay there the whole year. And sometimes you'll see some questionable people or something there, but I think it's just more in your imagination than anything else. This campground also has a couple of hiking trails. This is one of them. You can see the sign there right next to that bench. Joni and I did not go down that particular trail, but it wanders all the way down and around the park and the outside of the park. Said it's a pretty nice walking trail. During the summer, he says there's not a big risk of walking or running into snakes, but in the summer or in the winter, there is a chance, because when it gets colder, they like to come out into the sun.
Sure how to row. That ain't it. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream.
Okay, so I thought I'd go ahead and show you the big picture, because I know sometimes it's hard to get the big picture when I'm just showing you little pieces of, you know, this is what this piece looks like, this shower, so on and so on. So this whole entire map will kind of give you the big picture. Here is where we came in on the highway, going south on 27. You actually turn in, you'll be coming down 27 this way, and then you turn into the park. And this is where you check in, disconnect your toad, check into the reservation office here. Then you come out, go through the gate, And if you follow this road all the way down, this takes you to the lake where I showed you where the lake was. Right to the right of this road, this is where most of the annuals live. They pay an annual fee, they stay in here. There are some permanent structures here, single wide trailers, but I have been through all this area on my bicycle, and most of these spots are all covered with, are occupied by RVs. And yes, this lake does have alligators in it. Coming back out of the lake, if you come around here, this is where we showed you. We came around this area around here, and this is the bathhouse that we showed. I'm sorry I didn't have a big wide lens there, but at least you were able to see. Had some sinks, toilets, and a couple of showers. Then we rounded the corner and went into what I call the old area, which is back up into here. Rounded the corner, came back up through here, and all of these here are back-end sites. They're 30 and 50 amp. Here's another restroom and wash. Here's another restroom and wash. Here's another restroom and wash, and another one here. So if you follow this all the way around, this is where we went inside the laundry area, and we are parked right across from that. We're right over here. And the back of our rig actually shows this little lake. This also has alligators. But as you can see, this is a really big park. We went to the office and asked them how many sites they actually were, and she said, well, she thought it was 850, but she wasn't sure. We've seen on TripAdvisory more than 900. So it kind of varies. I don't know whether you would get an exact number, but you can see that it's very vast. The pull-throughs are right in this area. So you have one pulled in this way, one pulled in the opposite way. The rest of them are pretty much all back ends. This is the pool area. This is the recreational or activity center and store and where you get your mail. Tennis courts, basketball court, mini golf. The checker and chess games were right here, and here is where the trash dump is. A lot of people like parking right along in this area and in here because they're close to the activity center and the pool. The next time we come in a couple weeks, we're going to come back. We're currently here. We are planning on parking over here because it's more populated over here, and we like meeting people. We don't like to be, when we're in a campground situation, we like to be around people. We like to meet people, have happy hour and cook and have dinner with folks and stuff like that. If we're out boondocking, yeah, we would probably rather be by ourselves and just kind of be isolated and so forth. But we'll probably be parking somewhere in here next time. So that's pretty much the overall view of Thousand Trails, Orlando. Okay, so what are your overall views on this, Joni?
I really, really like this park. It's big, it's clean. Just overall, I love the pavement. I really like this park.
Yeah, it's very big. It's a very big park.
It's huge.
When we first arrived here, where we showed you where you park and disattach your tote and go in and check in, well, I got in the car there and drove around first in the tote trying to find a place, and I was like, man, I'm sure glad Joni didn't try to find the place. She would have gotten lost.
Yeah, I have no sense of direction, really.
But it's very big. They have A section, B section, C section, D section, then way back by the lake. And you have a lot of space between. You're not packed in there where you put out your awning and there's your next door neighbor. It's not like that at all. You have a lot of space. They're all full hookups. So you have electrical, dump and water. The water pressure was low. At our particular place,
yes,
we had 45 pounds of pressure. So it was adequate, but it was low water pressure. They actually put on a restrictor on the spigot, and that even lowered it more. So before I hooked up to our wet bay, I actually removed that spigot.
Are you supposed to reveal that fact?
And then I went ahead and hooked it up. We're fixing to leave this campground tomorrow, and we're going to Kissimmee. So when we disattach everything, I'll put that back on. I loved the asphalt roadways, so there's no dust. We've been in other parks where you get the traffic going up and down gravel roads. It kicks up dust.
Oh yeah, some places the dust will choke you.
Yeah, it gets all over your vehicle, all over your RV, all over your table and chairs, and
but that's not an issue here.
yeah, it's not an issue here. The laundry facilities are always nice.
A little pricey on the laundry facility.
Yeah, it was pricey, but overall, we liked the park. And because, this is one point to make here, since this is a Thousand Trails park, and we are Thousand Trails members, we have an elite membership. Staying here for 3 weeks cost us $0. We paid no camping fees. In fact,
that was great.
The whole time we have been in Florida, we arrived in Florida like the second or third week in June. Well, now it's the middle of August. We have paid $0 in camping fees, and we've had full hookups everywhere we go. So that has been very sweet. So Joni and I are going to grade.
We're going to rate it.
We're going to rate it like they do on, we thought about this last night. Instead of the Dancing with the Stars, it'll be
rate this campground.
With the, yeah, rate this campground. Rate the campground with the stars, or whatever you want to say. So we have not rehearsed this.
Obviously.
She is going to rate this campground from 0 to 10. And why don't you open it up and write it so I can't see, and then I'll do it.
That was my plan.
Okay. So
Okay.
So rating from 0 to 10, 0 being the worst, 10 being the best. And so, Joni, reveal what you say yours is.
I give this a 9.
A 9.
Martin?
I rate it an 8.
An 8?
An 8. I rated it an 8.
Wow, he's harsh.
So there you go. Between the two of us, it's an 8.5. Okay, well, that's it. So we hope that this review of Orlando Thousand Trails Campground was helpful. This is RV Street. Stick around.
Ta-da. That's done. An 8. We're going to have to buy more paper.